My name is nne'folktales, and I used to believe love was something soft, flowers, laughter, warm palms in a crowded room. Then the night of the river taught me love could be a decision you make with shaking knees. Please like, comment, and subscribe and where they are watching from, because this story is not just mine. It belongs to anyone who has ever loved someone so deeply they forgot to love themselves too. I met Cairo Adarin on a Wednesday that smelled like rain and roasted corn. I had just closed my small photography studio in Surulere, Lagos, and the traffic was doing that thing it always does, turning minutes into hours. A man in a dusty ash hoodie was arguing with a taxi driver, his voice calm but firm. I said I'll pay, he told the driver, but not for damage I didn't cause. The driver scoffed. Oga, you scratched my door. You think I'm blind? I was about to mind my business when the man turned, and our eyes met. His were dark and steady, like he had learned how not to panic even when life tried to embarrass him. He noticed the camera bag on my shoulder and nodded. Photographer, he asked. Sometimes, I said. Sometimes I'm just tired. He smiled like that line understood him. Same. The driver began shouting again, and I sighed. How much is he asking? 15,000, Cairo said, like he was reporting the weather. That's robbery, I muttered. Cairo lifted a hand. It's fine. I'll pay and go. No, I said quickly, surprising myself. I stepped forward and pointed at the taxi door. The scratch was old, faded, rusted at the edge. That mark has been there. Look at how it's dry. It didn't happen today. The driver's eyes flicked. Madam, you are not mechanic. I'm not, I replied. But I have eyes. Cairo leaned closer, voice low. You don't have to do this. Maybe I want to, I said. The driver spat words like pepper. But people were watching now, and someone else mumbled. She's right. That thing old. In the end, Cairo paid 5,000 just to end it. When the taxi finally left, he exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for years. You didn't have to fight for a stranger, he said. I adjusted my bag. You didn't have to surrender to nonsense either. He laughed softly. Fair. We walked the same direction without planning it. The streetlights made his face look carved, cheekbones sharp, jaw set, but something gentle lived behind his eyes. What's your name? He asked. Zena. He repeated it slowly, like tasting a new word. Zena. And you? I asked. Cairo. Cairo. I echoed, and he turned his head like the way I said it mattered. We stopped at a roadside suya spot. He insisted on buying. I insisted on paying my half. We argued, smiling. Let me do it, he said. Why? I asked. Because you're a man? No, he said, amused. Because I want to. That honesty hit me harder than any sweet talk. We sat on plastic chairs, the suya spicy and hot. He asked about my work, and I told him how I started taking pictures after my father died, how freezing moments made grief feel less slippery. Cairo listened like the world could wait. My mother died too, he said quietly. When I was younger. I'm sorry, I whispered. He nodded once, eyes on the meat stick. I don't talk about it much. You don't have to, I said. But he did. Over the next weeks, he kept showing up. Not like a performance, but like a habit. He brought books to my studio and pretended he was only passing. He sent me voice notes at midnight when the city quieted down. Zena, his voice would say, warm through my phone. Tell me one good thing that happened today. Sometimes my good thing was small. I got a client. Sometimes it was bigger. I laughed today. Properly. And then it became him. You. I confessed one night, cheeks hot even though he couldn't see me. You're the good thing. His silence lasted a second too long, and my heart squeezed. Then he said, almost like he feared it, same. The first time he kissed me, it wasn't dramatic. No music. No slow motion. Just a rainy evening when my studio's power went out and we stood near the doorway, watching the street glitter. You're shaking, he said, touching my wrist. It's cold, I lied. He stepped closer. Zena, I'm not good at doing things halfway. My throat tightened. Neither am I. He kissed me softly, like asking permission with every breath. I kissed him back like I had been waiting. For months we were good. Not perfect, but real. He cooked jollof that always came out too smoky. I took photos of him when he wasn't looking and made him a private album titled Home. When he got stressed, he became quiet. When I got anxious, I talked too much. We learned each other's storms. One night, after we made love, he lay on his back and stared at the ceiling. What are you thinking? I asked. He hesitated. That I don't deserve you. I propped myself on my elbow. Don't say that. It's the truth, he murmured. There are things I haven't told you. My chest tightened. Like what? He sat up, rubbing his palms together. I'm not just doing logistics like I told you. I blinked. Okay, it's more complicated. My work can be dangerous. I laughed nervously. Dangerous like armed robbers? Cairo, what do you mean? His eyes held mine. I move sensitive goods sometimes. Not drugs. Nothing like that. But people can be violent. I stared. So you're in trouble? Not yet, he said quickly. But it's why I try to stay controlled. I felt anger flare, fear wearing an angry coat. You should have told me. I wanted to, he said, voice rough. But I didn't want you to look at me like I'm a mistake. I swallowed. You are not a mistake. But secrets create accidents. He reached for my hand. I'm telling you now. I tried to breathe through the rising panic. Do you want out? He nodded slowly. Yes. I'm saving to start something clean. That's why I work so hard. Then start now, I said. I'll help. He smiled, but it was tired. That's what scares me. That you'd actually stay. I squeezed his hand. I'm here. I meant it. The night everything broke began like any other. We drove out of town to shoot a small pre-wedding session for a client near a resort by the lagoon. Cairo came with me, saying he wanted a quiet day. The sky was a soft gray. The water looked calm. We laughed. We ate. We took photos of the couple and joked about how the groom kept blinking. On our way back, the road got darker, and the air changed, like the world was holding its breath. Cairo's phone rang. He looked at it, and his face tightened. Who is it? I asked. He didn't answer. He picked up. Yes, he said cautiously. I couldn't hear the other voice, but I saw Cairo's shoulders stiffen. No, he said sharper now. I'm not doing it. A pause. His jaw clenched. I said I'm not doing it. My heart started knocking inside my ribs. He ended the call and gripped the steering wheel. Cairo, I whispered. What's happening? He forced a smile that didn't fit. Nothing. Just old work trying to pull me back. Are you safe? I asked. He glanced at me. With you? Always. But then behind us headlights appeared, too close, too aggressive. Cairo's eyes flashed to the mirror. Hold on, he said. What? The car behind honked, long and angry. Then another car joined it, coming from the side road like it had been waiting. My stomach dropped. Cairo, I said, voice breaking. Who are those people? His hands tightened. Zina, listen to me carefully. No matter what happens, do exactly what I say. Don't do that, I pleaded. Don't talk like that. He looked at me with a kind of sadness that felt like goodbye. Just trust me. The cars boxed us in, pushing us toward the bridge over the lagoon. The water below looked deeper now, hungry. The first car rammed us lightly, warning. Cairo swore under his breath. Why are they doing this? I cried. Because I said no, he said. Another hit. Our car swerved. Cairo. He fought the wheel. Stay calm. A third hit harder. The world tilted. Tires screamed. My stomach rose into my throat. Then the guardrail snapped like brittle bone. And we were falling, metal and glass and terror, straight into the black water. The impact stole my breath. Cold water rushed in, swallowing sound. I fought the seatbelt with shaking fingers, ears ringing, lungs burning. I saw Cairo beside me, eyes wide, reaching. I yanked at my buckle. It released. I grabbed his arm. His belt was stuck. His fingers fumbled, frantic. Bubbles streamed from his mouth. I pressed my forehead to his, eyes open in the dark. Look at me, I begged without words. Look at me. I tugged at his belt clasp, once, twice. It wouldn't release. My lungs screamed. Cairo's eyes met mine, terrified. I tried again, nails slipping. Then I saw it, the strap twisted, jammed. I forced my fingers under it, yanked, and the buckle clicked free. Cairo jerked, but his leg was caught under the dashboard. I pulled, muscles burning, water pressing on my chest. He shook his head, pointing, telling me to go. I refused. I wrapped my arms around him and pulled again, harder, until pain ripped through my shoulder. His leg slipped free. We kicked toward the surface, bodies heavy, water fighting us. Light appeared, silver above. We burst out, gasping, choking, rain hitting our faces. Cairo, I cried. He coughed, sputtering. Zina. I grabbed him, dragging him toward the broken edge of the bridge where grass and mud waited. My arms felt like fire, but I kept pulling. People shouted above. Flashlights danced. I pushed Cairo onto the bank, collapsing beside him. He coughed violently, then turned his face to me. You saved me, he whispered, shaking. Tears mixed with rain on my cheeks. Of course I did. Of course I did. He cupped my face with trembling hands. I'm sorry. For what? I sobbed. For bringing danger near you, he said. For ever letting you love me. I shook my head. Don't start that. Sirens wailed in the distance. Someone shouted, ambulance. Cairo's eyes drifted past me, scanning the dark road. Fear sharpened his features. They might still be here, he said. My chest tightened. Who? Those men. He swallowed. Yes. Cairo, we're alive, I cried. We're alive. He gripped my wrist. Zena, if they come, don't fight them. Do you hear me? Stop, I begged. Stop talking like we're already losing. His eyes softened. I love you. My heart cracked open. I love you too. He leaned in and pressed his forehead to mine. If anything happens. Nothing will happen, I insisted. We'll go home. We'll heal. We'll. A shadow moved near the roadside. Cairo's whole body tensed. He sat up, pushing me slightly behind him, even though he was the one who could barely breathe. And in that moment, with water in my hair and fear in my mouth, I realized something terrifying. I had risked my life to save him. But the danger that wanted him might not let me keep him. The ambulance lights cut through the rain like restless eyes. Paramedics wrapped foil blankets around our shoulders, their voices brisk, practiced. My teeth wouldn't stop chattering, not just from the cold, but from the way Cairo kept scanning the road, as if the darkness itself could stand up and walk toward us. At the hospital, they separated us. A nurse pressed me into a wheelchair, her hand warm on my shoulder. You're in shock, she said gently. Breathe with me. I'm fine, I insisted. He's the one, please, my boyfriend. Where did they take him? She nodded to the corridor. Trauma bay. He's conscious. Relief made my vision blur. I closed my eyes and counted breaths like the nurse showed me. In. Out. In. Out. The smell of disinfectant mixed with wet clothes and fear. When they finally let me see him, Cairo lay on a narrow bed, fur line taped to his arm, hair damp and curling at the edges. He smiled when he saw me, but the smile didn't reach his eyes. You look like you fought the lagoon, he said. I laughed weakly and sat beside him. You're welcome. I always wanted to wrestle water for you. He reached for my hand. His fingers were cold. Zena, we need to talk. My stomach tightened. That sounds like a goodbye sentence. He swallowed. Those men, they won't stop. I've tried to leave before. It's never clean. You almost died, I said, voice breaking. We both did. Whatever this is, it ends now. I wish it worked like that, he murmured. They'll come back. Not today. But soon. So we go to the police, I said quickly. We report everything. His eyes dropped. You think they don't have people? Anger rose in me, sharp and bright. So what? We just run forever. He was quiet for a long moment. The machines hummed between us. I need to disappear for a while, he said softly. Just until I can make this right. My chest went hollow. Disappear like leave? Like protect you, he replied. You don't get to decide that for me. I snapped, tears pushing forward. I chose you. I chose you when the car was sinking. He flinched. And that's exactly why I can't let you drown because of me. I leaned closer, my voice a whisper that shook. Don't you dare turn my love into a reason to leave me. He squeezed my hand. Zena, listen to me. If I stay close, you're a target. I'm already a target, I said. They saw me. They tried to kill us both. The door creaked. A nurse peeked in. 5 minutes, she said kindly. Cairo's eyes searched my face like he was trying to memorize it. I need you to promise me something. I don't make promises I can't keep, I said. Promise you'll go to your sister's place for a while. Change your routine. Don't post where you are. Fear crawled under my skin. You're planning something. I'm planning to end this, he said. How? I asked. He looked away. By giving them what they want from me. Then walking out clean. That's a lie, I said. There's no clean exit from men like that. He closed his eyes. Please. The nurse returned. Time. I stood slowly, every part of me heavy. If you walk away from me without telling me where you're going, I said, don't come back when it's safe and expect me to be where you left me. He opened his eyes. Zena, I love you, I said, the words burning. But love doesn't survive being abandoned. His mouth opened. Closed. He nodded once, like someone accepting a sentence. I left the room with my heart in my throat. The days after felt unreal. I stayed with my sister, Mirela, who watched me like I might break if she blinked. Cairo didn't call. I checked my phone so often the screen grew warm in my palm. On the third day, a message arrived. Cairo, I'm okay. I'm sorry. Don't look for me. I stared at the words until they blurred. My hands shook as I typed. Me, don't do this. Let me help you. No reply. I waited. Minutes. Hours. Nothing. The silence hurt more than the crash. It was a quiet that rearranged my life. I returned to my studio, tried to work, tried to pretend the world hadn't tilted. Clients spoke, I nodded. My camera clicked. I framed smiles while my own face felt like a stranger. At night, his absence grew loud. The empty side of the bed. The ghost of his voice in my phone. I played old voice notes until my chest ached. Zena, his recorded voice said, warm and distant. Tell me one good thing that happened today. I whispered to the empty room. You're alive. That's the good thing. Weeks passed. The city moved on. I didn't. Then one evening, a woman walked into my studio with a nervous smile. She was tall, neat, eyes too alert for someone looking for portraits. Are you Zena Nwoy? She asked. Yes, I said slowly. My name is Anya Cole, she said. I work with a private security firm. We handle complicated situations. My pulse thudded. You're looking for Cairo. She didn't deny it. He asked me to find you. Hope flared, then hurt rushed in behind it. He could have called. He didn't want to put you in danger, Anya said gently. He's been trying to settle old debts. It's messy. Is he alive? I asked. Yes, she said. But he's not safe. I closed my eyes. What do you want from me? To help him finish this without disappearing forever, she replied. He trusts you. That's rare for him. I laughed without humor. Trust didn't stop him from leaving. He left because he loves you, Anya said. That doesn't make it kinder, I replied. She slid a small card onto the table. If you want to see him, call me. If you don't, I'll understand. After she left, I stared at the card like it might explode. The safe choice was to burn it, to choose quiet, to protect myself the way Cairo said he wanted to protect me. But the memory of his hands trembling in the rain rose up in me. The way he said my name like it was a shelter. I called. Anya picked up on the first ring. We'll meet tomorrow, she said. Come alone. The warehouse by the docks smelled like oil and old secrets. Anya led me through a side door, her steps soft. My heart beat so loud I was sure someone would hear it. Cairo stood near a stack of crates, bruises shadowing his cheek, a new scar at his brow. When he saw me, something in his face broke open. Zena, he breathed. I crossed the room in 2 steps and slapped him. The sound echoed. Then I pulled him into my arms and cried into his chest. I hate you, I sobbed. I know, he whispered, wrapping me tight. I'm sorry. Don't ever disappear on me like that again, I said into his shirt. Do you hear me? He nodded against my hair. I hear you. Anya cleared her throat politely. We don't have long. Cairo stepped back, eyes searching mine. I'm close to ending this. I just needed time to negotiate my way out. And you didn't think I deserved to know? I asked. I didn't want you to carry the fear, he said. I already carry it, I replied. Love is heavy. I was willing to lift it with you. His eyes shone. I don't deserve you. I lifted his chin. Stop deciding that for me. We stood there, the world thin between us. He pressed his forehead to mine, the way he had on the riverbank. If I come back clean, he whispered, will you still be here? I took a breath. If you come back honest. He nodded. Then wait for me. I will, I said. But don't make me wait forever. Waiting is a strange kind of courage. It doesn't look brave from the outside. It looks like ordinary days stacked on top of each other. Washing cups, answering emails, pretending the ache in your chest is just indigestion. But inside, waiting is a storm you learn to walk through without an umbrella. Cairo said he was close to ending it. I believed him because I wanted to. Because hope, once you let it in, becomes a habit. Anya kept in touch in careful fragments. He's progressing. It's complicated. Not today. Each message felt like a thin rope over a wide river. I held on anyway. I returned to work, to faces that smiled for my lens. I photographed engagements and birthdays, proof that the world kept choosing beginnings. At night, I sat by my window and spoke to the dark like it was listening. Come back clean, I whispered. Come back alive. 2 weeks after the warehouse, Anya called at dawn. We're doing the handover today, she said. After this, it should be finished. My heart kicked. Can I see him after? There was a pause. If everything goes well. If. I pressed. It will, she said, but her voice wasn't certain. The hours crawled. I cleaned my studio twice. I changed my shirt 3 times. I stood in front of the mirror and practiced calm like it was a language I might forget under pressure. At noon, my phone buzzed. Anya, it's done. He's walking away. Relief washed through me so hard I had to sit. Tears sprang up, sudden and hot. Me, is he safe? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Anya, he will be. I'll tell him to call you. I smiled into my phone like a fool. I imagined his voice filling the room again, the easy warmth of it. I imagined us cooking jollof badly together, laughing about how Smoke had a personal problem with him. I imagined ordinary. An hour passed. Then 2. I paced. I checked the street like he might materialize out of thin air. I texted once, then stopped myself from texting again. I didn't want to be the person who crowded hope until it ran away. By evening, the sky bruised purple. My phone lay heavy in my palm. Then it rang. But it wasn't Cairo. It was Anya. Her voice was tight. Zena, there was an incident. The room tilted. What kind of incident? They tried to make him prove loyalty one last time, she said. He refused. My chest hollowed. What happened? There was a breath on the line, shaky. He created a diversion so the others could get out. I stood very still. Is he hurt? Silence. Anya, I whispered. Is he coming back to me? The words that followed were gentle, careful, devastating. He didn't make it out in time. The world narrowed to the sound of blood in my ears. No, I said. No, you said. I'm so sorry, she said. He asked me to tell you that he walked away clean in his heart, that loving you was the only thing he never regretted. The call ended, but the echo stayed. I slid down the wall and sat on the floor, my back against cold paint. My body felt distant, like it belonged to someone else. The room looked ordinary, which felt like a betrayal. The kettle on the counter whistled. A bus honked outside. The world continued without permission. I pressed my palm to my mouth and made a sound I didn't recognize. Grief is not one thing. It is 100 small losses. The space he should occupy on the bed. The messages that will never come. The jokes that have no audience. The days after were quiet in a way that made noise feel rude. Mirela brought food I didn't taste. People said, be strong, like strength was a switch. I nodded, because it was easier than explaining that strength felt like standing in water that kept rising. I found Cairo's hoodie in my drawer. The ash one from the night we met. It still smelled faintly of him, soap and smoke. I folded it and pressed it to my chest until the ache had edges again. Weeks later, Anya visited. She handed me a small envelope. He asked me to give you this if, she didn't finish. Inside was a folded note, his handwriting slanted and familiar. Zena, if you're reading this, it means I didn't make it back in time. I'm sorry I asked you to wait. I was selfish with hope. You taught me how to be honest with myself, and that's the only way I knew how to walk away clean. Don't carry my shadows. Take the light we made and spend it on your life. Love again, even if it scares you. I loved you without conditions. That's the part of me that's staying with you. K. I read it until the paper softened with my tears. Months passed. I learned to live with the echo. I learned that love can end and still be real. I planted a small tree outside my studio because I needed something alive to tend. On the mornings when grief felt heavy, I watered it and talked to it like it might answer. Today I'm okay, I'd say. Or, today I'm not. One evening, as the city hummed, I stood by the window and felt something new alongside the ache. A quiet gratitude. Cairo had come into my life like a storm and left me with a map of my own courage. I had learned that love could be brave even when it ends in pain. That risking your life for someone does not mean you lose your own. I whispered into the fading light. Thank you for choosing me, even for a little while. And then I breathed. In, out, the way the nurse taught me. Because living is also an act of love. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and where they are watching from.